Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mike Chuck. I'm Mike Sauter. That's Chuck Mulligan. Our special guest this week, Nick Rubek from the Omaha World-Herald, part-timer. Nick Rubek from the Omaha World-Herald. Are you more of a soccer guy or wrestling guy, Nick?
We're just starting right out with the hard-hitting stuff, huh? My word, not even an intro. It depends what season we're in. So we're wrestling guy right now.
I know you enjoy soccer, and I guess the only times I see you every year is state soccer and wrestling.
Yeah. Got big into the World Cup. Got big into the Premier League and those during COVID and stuff. But I'll tell you what, the last couple of years I've gotten into college wrestling a lot. Yeah. There's some good stuff there too, man. Some really good.
Who do you like following?
I mean, Nebraska, but I just like watching. Like last week when that Iowa Penn State duel, that's like a must watch. Mm-hmm. Friday night, stay in and watch that duel. So yeah, college wrestling's gotten super interesting. Once you know the storylines behind things, and it makes it awesome. So there's a ton to watch too. Not to get too much off our topic, but I'm really excited for those guys that came through Nebraska. That, you know, Antrell Taylor down in Lincoln, super jacked. I know they're really jacked about him too. His progress he's made. So
he's wrestling really well right now.
Yeah, and from what I understand, you know, Peyton Robb's really kind of taken him under his wing and brought him along. And there's not a lot of dudes in the country that are better to be under their wing than Peyton Robb. So. Yeah, no, that's awesome to see that. It'll be sweet to see Joel Adams get up to Michigan eventually when he does that. That'll be awesome to follow. So, yeah, good stuff.
Do you think when Joel Adams makes the Olympic team that the World Herald will send you to wherever that is?
To Paris?
Yeah.
I was gonna say but it's no. Whatever no is in French is no. Yeah, is it if it's on TV, we'll hit it that way.
Yeah.
Me and Mike.
But I talked to his club coach the other day, and you know that they're excited about that, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
I think it's clearly a real possibility, which is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it's he's got a very good shot.
When we interviewed him, or we had him on
side, yeah.
Yeah, we had him on the show earlier this year, and we kind of made a guarantee that if he made the Olympic team, we were going to Paris for Mike Chuck in Paris.
Yes.
We're gonna eat at the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
But I'll probably throw you off of it first.
You ain't throwing me.
Yeah, round two. In front of the
round two in Paris.
Yeah, maybe you'll break your other knee.
Easy.
Right. Okay, so let's dive into what we're here to talk about. State duels last week. You followed along.
The greatest gift by R. Kelly now playing.
What? I don't know if you guys heard that. That was Siri talking.
Yes, Siri was coming at you right there.
What is happening?
Wow. Dear Lord, get your life together. This is what you get for making fun of me. Is this where you want to be when Jesus comes back? Is making fun of little old Chuck?
This couldn't start any better.
Okay. All right. So, state duels, you followed all along. This is a question that I asked. We had Ziola on from Scott. We've asked Lordson from Bennington. Is Scott back? I think officially now after winning a Class B state duel title, maybe?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, they looked good. I mean, they took it to Waverly in that first round, and then, you know, I know the second round was a little easier against Kozak, but that Blair team that they made it look somewhat easy against, you can say that might be a bad matchup, but they were tough, man. They were really tough.
It's the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams are really good.
Yeah. No, that I think so. I talked to Chaz that night a little bit afterwards, and I don't think anyone around there is ready to proclaim themselves back yet. A dual title, any sort of title is nice to get, but I know that one next week is the one at Scott that they're always pointing towards. So, yeah, if Big Bad Scott is back, that makes Class B even better to watch.
Yeah, Wrestling's just fun when Scott's good.
Yeah.
Part of it because everyone boos them and stuff, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's happened for a lot of years. But they've also hung a bunch of banners for a lot of years, so it kind of comes with the territory.
There's a pretty good wrestler that got booed out of the building a while back, and then was cheered last year when he came back.
Yeah, he got a standing ovation recently, if I remember right. Yeah. It's funny what winning for your country does. Kind of makes you forget your high school allegiances. But, yeah, no, I'm excited for those guys. Chaz is a great coach. And Kate Ziola is real deal stuff. It'll be awesome to see him back in that environment last year. I mean, I know he'd probably tell you that that last year didn't end the way he wanted it to. I think it was a lot. There was a lot. I mean, that's an environment, man. And then, seeing Landon Widener again, I think you'll see a different Kate Ziola next week. I think you'll see one that's locked in, that's been there before and ready to mow through.
I know a guy we saw in Chuck, we saw in Fargo was Cole Welty. Now he's got Hudson Lodges to maybe deal with there and Sheared from Gross, but I have a feeling that Lodges and Welty will be kind of going at each other for some time because they're about the same size-ish.
And that's okay. We'll take that. We'll take that for a couple more years. Yeah. Run it back. Yeah.
Former teammates too.
Yep. I was just going to say they both wore that purple for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Purple's a great color.
It is. You're right. That's why. Yeah. I have my chest painted purple at all time for those Blair Bears.
Right. Yeah. Central Dirty Eagle over here. Is there a districts is this week? Obviously, girls districts was last week. We'll get to girls in a little bit, but is there a district maybe this week in A that I think it feels like North Platte's probably the one, right? Like the biggest one or toughest one?
My eyes go first to that A4, and Norfolk and Papio out there. That's, I think, is going to be a banger. Both of those are quality teams. I think they'll see a bunch of matchups with each other. But yeah, I mean, North Platte, Millard South's such a heavy favorite out in North Platte. Lincoln East, kind of the same thing in their home gym, big favorite, I would assume. And then the other one's Papio South, where Papio South, Columbus, GI, Elkhorn South. So that one's got a little more depth to it. But yeah, Papio Norfolk out there is quality. And then in Class B, I mean, B1, Scott and Bennington. I mean, the two teams that I shouldn't say the two, but two teams that their names are going to be pretty close to the top next week, and they're gonna grind her out for a couple days over in Bennington. So I would call that B1 probably the marquee district of the weekend.
That B1 district is you're gonna have to earn it. Yeah.
And both those teams again have aspirations on a team title next week, and they're gonna see some tough guys to get guys through to that spot. So that'll be a great one.
Who
are you excited for?
Me?
Chuck, what are you guys excited for?
I think the North Platte one, and just see like how big that can get, like the
Yeah.
Like what's the lead look like? What's the gap? I mean, I think it's one of those things where like watching, we talked about Lincoln East is the, biggest threat, but then they've dueled twice now, and it hasn't been close. So it's like,
I get this. I kind of feel that same way about the state tournament. Is I get the sense that they could go there and blow the doors off the joint.
That's what I mean. Like,
and that could certainly happen at the district tournament too. I just get the sense that they've kind of been there and saw that, and that could all change. We've seen enough of these to know that sometimes teams don't live up to the potential and the hype. I just get a funny feeling about that group that they do at the state tournament and really can challenge for one of the better showings that we've ever seen. So that could certainly start this weekend too.
Yeah, I know. It was 2 years ago. Millard South was going for the state record, in team points and didn't quite get there.
Sure.
Maybe I think it's realistic, probably this year.
So I'm pumped up to see, actually, and I have some bias in this, but A4. I mean, you look at some of those weights and you're like, wow, there's some really good potential for matchups. Like you look at 113 and you can see Durden Sanchez, who, Durden and Sanchez, that's a state champion level match. And then you've got 145 where you've got Durr, Boston, and Sterling, and Kenneth Bryant, who are all potential state placers. I mean, there's just some really, really good matchups out there that I would be really excited to see. And that, at 182, you've got Hagan and Bonner. That's a match that you're like, wow, those are two big, tough dudes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, those are matches that you could close your eyes and see happening in a semifinal really easily.
Yeah.
A state semifinal on a Friday night.
I mean, 120 is Bonham and Creosote, man. Creosote, he'll catch you in a throw, man.
Yeah.
He will.
He's dangerous.
Way dangerous. Yeah. Now, he loses a lot more than he probably should, but he can catch you, too. So that's a dangerous guy for Brian, too.
The dude bench presses small trains.
They no, A4 is the in Class A. A4 is the one I would definitely look at for sure.
We're getting the cart before the horse here a little bit, but we talked to Tyson Terry earlier this year. He said his goal was to not get taken down the entire year. There's no one. No one's touching that guy, right? At heavyweight. It's pretty dominant, right?
I don't see a challenger like he had last year. Right. What about Chuck? You look like you might have another thought on that, though.
Well, I'd love to agree, and I really think it's a strong possibility. But I did see Chris Oliver get taken down. Was it his junior year? At the state tournament after not being taken down all year. Anything can happen. I mean, I remember one of my first memories of wrestling was Brandon Brill going for his fourth title and gets pinned in the finals.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff gets funny. Unfortunately for Tyson, the place will be pretty empty when Friday night when he's wrestling. I don't know what the roll call is going to be for Saturday yet, but
we're starting at 106.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
He's worth sticking around. He's worth the wait. He's also worth DVRing and maybe watching again when you get home. So
when you talk about generational talents.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, you hate to put the cart before the horse, and you hate to project what he's going to look like in 2 more years. But what you can project is that he'll be scary. he'll continue to be scary for 2 more years. And yeah, man, sky's really the limit for him. I kind of talked to people around college wrestling that think if he wanted to, he could go do it and be elite at it.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, anything can change, but we don't expect that to happen. But you know, you never know. So enjoy him while we got him.
It'd be virtually impossible to do both football and wrestling, right? I mean, it'd be pretty hard.
It would be especially at, you know, what he'd be doing. Yeah. I assume he'll try and be as big as he can on one of the lines. Yeah,
about like 300-ish. Right. Yeah, it'd be hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the dude is with all due respect, the dude's a freak. So yeah. I wouldn't put anything past him. But yeah, that's tough. That's a tough double, especially for a freshman. I don't think they would put that sort of workload on a freshman. Yeah. And we've obviously seen he wasn't a typical freshman last year. Probably won't be a typical freshman when he gets to college either. But yeah.
Is there a C or D district, I guess, that you maybe have looked at that could be tough?
You know, it's just I think what we saw at the duels this weekend, I think that projects for the next week and a half. Mm-hmm. I really think Broken Bow is just a level above everybody in C. I think Aquinas is a level above everybody in D. I know that doesn't make for exciting talk or an exciting team race, but those teams I have really just kind of separated themselves this year.
Is there any? I mean, so we brought up everybody already. Like I guess Kel Lortzen going for 4. That's the biggest storyline this year so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Kale, I mean, yeah, we shouldn't take anything away from Kale. He's won on an international stage. You know, I mean, he's a top 5 wrestler in the nation. He's really, really good, really, really good at what he does. So yeah, I think that would probably be your storyline is just what he does. I mean, I'm really excited to watch Joel Adams for the last time.
He
seems like it was.
God, he's electric.
Well, it seems like it was yesterday that he was like the freshman bouncing around with more energy than muscle, and now he's a grown dude. You know, he's a grown dude with everything in front of him. So just watching his development has been awesome. Getting to watch him one more time over the weekend will be fun. That Class B race is going to be. I mean, you're gonna have to start counting stuff Thursday. You know, I mean, you're gonna pick up stuff on Thursday of somebody not getting a major when they should, and over here somebody getting a pin when they shouldn't, and those things are all gonna matter for 3 straight days.
It's going to come down to the draws that they get for the state brackets too. Yeah. I mean, that's going to play a huge part is draws, and I'm really excited to see it.
I mean, 1, 2,
yeah, which means that this weekend's super important,
right?
Yeah,
Scotts Bluff is a team too that we haven't really talked about too. That could.
You're absolutely right.
Wasn't be.
Yeah,
it might be. You don't know enough about them, right? Like, so it's kind of.
They're just very.
If you want to see them, go check them out at Ralston this weekend because them and Gehring have to come across the state for a district. Yeah, so.
Wow. At that point, would you just stay here for like a couple more days?
You know, it's a great question. I doubt it. I doubt you keep them out of. I guess I don't know because, you know, you figured they probably come Wednesday, right?
Or Wednesday, yeah. You're leaving Wednesday, so you're missing school on Wednesday anyway.
So you're talking about Monday and Tuesday additional? I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah.
It all depends on how much they would want to spend on hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd That'd be tough, I think. And
people from Scotts Bluff, we want you to weigh in on this.
We're gonna text the coach real quick. Find out.
Yeah, you got couches. They can crash, right?
I also have a 6 and a 3-year-old, so that ain't happening. Chuck's single and has an apartment. Go live there.
Adversity. It's adversity.
Yeah, they can help.
One of them can sleep on my couch.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Scotts Bluff we haven't mentioned them, but they're firmly in the mix too.
I mean, there's just so many teams there. I mean, you got to think Hastings, Blair, Bennington, Scott, Scotts Bluff, and I'm probably forgetting names too.
Yes, I mean, I think you've named the majority of them, but
Kozan.
Yeah, yep, there you go. That was one we missed. They're all now. You know what? Throw them in a bag and mix them up and have them wrestle each other and try and figure out points from there.
It's got to be one of the more intriguing team races we've had in years.
Going in. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
excited about it.
And we're talking about B a lot on this because that's the one that is up. I mean, basically the other 3 we kind of feel real good about. Maybe D with a Sutherland or something, but like we feel pretty good about,
Yeah,
A and C.
I think there could have been questions, or you could have kind of constructed a way that C and D go a different way. I just think the way that those teams showed up last weekend, and I mean, they didn't just win; they rolled. I mean, between Millard South, Broken Bow, and Aquinas, I mean, they outscored people by an average of 40 points in those duels.
Right.
An average.
That's so wild.
I mean, and that's for 3 rounds. That's with a finals round in there too, combined. So in 9 duels, they averaged to outscore people by 40 points, which is bonkers. So if people are watching or listening and they're upset that we're crowning champions before anyone even wrestles, I understand that. This is just not your normal type situation when that kind of stuff happens.
Like we said earlier, anything can happen.
Sure. But then that's why we turn the attention to Class B. Class B has been a tight race the last few years. I mean, the duels last year came down to a point. And somehow, I don't know how, but it feels like it's even closer this year. So that's why we're focusing on that, just because it seems more up in the air. But you're 100% right. Anything can happen. And when something weird happens, you guys have been there enough to know there's a vibe that goes around, and the energy gets sucked out and it can suck out of a team too really easily. And you'll see it can happen to the next guy after him. And so, anything can happen.
And really, I think your story that you probably already have written for your Class B preview is like, is this and I say return of Scott, but like, okay, return to the top of the podium Scott in the team race. It's not like, I mean, they've finished strong in the anybody else would be super happy with what they've done.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The expectation.
Yeah. And, I'm sure they don't want to dwell a whole lot on these gap years where they haven't won it.
Where they've gotten like third.
Right. Yeah. Right. I'm sure they won't want to dwell on that very much. But that you're right, that the green and black being back is the storyline.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really think a big key for them at districts and state is going to be Tyler Harrell at 145. If he performs well, I think they've got a really, really good shot of doing well. Now, that's not to say that it's all on him, but I think he's a guy that can make a big difference.
Give him those sneaky points.
Yeah. And it's not like he's coming out of nowhere. He's pretty tough wrestler, but he's a guy that could make a big difference in the state tournament, especially as a freshman in a tough weight class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second ranked right now. So it's around him is a bunch of juniors and seniors. So it's a little harder, but could be key for that team race.
Yeah. was just going to say that didn't mean a whole lot last year to, his teammate, Cade Ziola.
Yeah.
A bunch of juniors and seniors around him at 152, tough weight last year. And he goes and grinds that thing out to get to the championship match. So, there won't be a lack of storylines next week. And I mean, shoot, we haven't even talked about the girl side of things yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna go there real quick. So we talked a lot. Last week we had Ron Higdon on. We talked a lot of girls for about 20 minutes, and just
that was awesome.
Future looks like and all those things. And the numbers that he shared, I was like, whoa, like blown away. So girls, I mean, districts happen. It's kind of odd now. They get like a weekend off. So, but the state lineup is set. You have plenty of, big names in the girls' side, I think, to kind of fill your bucket, if you will.
Sure.
So, West Side's, as much as I don't want to talk about them, I guess I will. West Side's, they could have 4 or 5, right?
They took 5, yeah.
5, yeah.
5, yeah.
All 5 could be in a final. You could make a case for that. At least a semis. So then you have, why am I blanking on it, Chuck?
Grand Island, South.
Yeah, that's
team
Grand
race.
Island was just where I was about to go with that. I mean, them taking 10 is bonkers.
That's insane. It's one class.
I talked to Anaya Roberts from Grand Island tonight. And she was just talking about how some of the girls that didn't qualify are still wrestling, which is awesome to give another week and a half as a practice partner, So I think they have, they don't have that top end gear that South Sioux City does. South Sioux has the girls that are, they have 3 or 4 number ones, and had 4 district champs. But you saw over the weekend. I know you guys probably were not refreshing track wrestling like I was for the team points at that district, but it went back and forth so many times over the last 8 weights. I think they changed hands. The lead changed hands 5 times over the last 8 weights between those 2 teams. So now you throw them in a pool with even more teams and deeper brackets, and that should be really fun to watch. A girls team race this time too.
Papillion is another team in there too.
Absolutely. Yep. Again, a team race on the girls' side should be fun. There are some really, really high-end wrestlers on the girls' side. Reagan Galloway. You probably start with Reagan Galloway. You go to Reagan Rosser. You go to Macy Peacher.
Sophia Schultz.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And so the girls, one of the things that I've noticed from talking to girls this year is it seems more, I don't want to say normal, but it seems like this is what wrestling is now. One of the things that Nia Roberts told me tonight was, last year it took her a lot of the year to even understand, when she was on deck, how to read a bracket, where to go, what we're doing. Now this year they all know those things. And so now they're going out there and wrestling. And, Chuck, I know you see it every day. I'm sure girls are just far more comfortable with things this year.
Oh, 100%. 100%. One thing that I had to remember is that, with my little kids, I had to have a whole practice just to teach them what we do during a tournament, like how to report, all that stuff. Some of these girls, I mean, most high schools aren't going to have a practice like that because you got to practice to just get better.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's hard to remember that these girls they're just jumping in blind. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're jumping in just blind and enthusiastic. They're excited to do it, which makes it awesome.
I wonder. My one question on the girls' side is, more when Reagan Galloway wins if she's going to wear the cowboy hat or not?
Oh, obviously.
Like, do you think is that something you just
set a bar?
Yeah. Is that just something you just have with you? Like, when they introduce you and you come out of the smoke thing and she has a cowboy hat, that'd be the coolest.
That'd be so cool.
The picture would be pretty cool.
I bet she won't do a backflip though.
I don't think anyone's doing backflips after talking to Ron Higdon last week. If you do a backflip, it is going to be a team point for sure.
And you're going to get yelled at by him, and he's kind of scary sometimes.
He will not be happy with you if you do. The sportsmanship is going to be a big thing at the state tournament, and there will be team points taken away. He was very clear on that. So that's something to, keep an eye out for, I guess.
I got to admit, if I could do a backflip, I'd do one. I might backflip out of that place if I
can do a backflip right now.
Oh, yeah.
No, my favorite is watching like a heavyweight and he just does like a backwards roll or a somersault or something. That's my favorite.
Let me tell you,
that shouldn't cost a team point if you don't land it. It's not.
If you don't leave the ground.
If you win a state, if it was me and I won a state title, I'm with you, Rubek. Like I'm back flipping, cartwheeling, flipping off. I'm flipping.
Whoa! Well,
a lot.
You're gonna flip off.
I might.
Yeah, I definitely would. That's probably a good thing I never won anything. Then.
Yeah. Those things happen for a reason.
I'd be pretty dang happy if I would be. Yeah, you
act like you've been there before.
I don't care.
You just got to flex in the camera. Hold up.
I haven't.
However.
Yeah, so how far? Well, I guess we didn't ask. How far do you think they take? While we're talking about this, whatever. But how far do you think they'll take the team points away? Is it if it's like where they flex and they point, like they give?
I don't think you can. I don't think that takes.
Yeah,
I think it's aiming more towards opponents. Yeah.
Mm. I know a lot of people like.
Yeah, and it was rough last year. I mean, I remember Ron. Yeah, I remember Ron after the tournament. He was pretty. I don't think embarrassed is the way I think he was frustrated by it, and said the day after the state tournament last year that was going to be a focus. So, yeah.
I
don't need it. You can backflip in the hallway.
I would. Yeah, there would be some celebration.
I'd definitely be flipping everyone off in the hallway.
My thing is like the emotion though is there's so much emotion in that championship match in that moment, and to rein that in it's got to be hard. Like it's got to be hard. If we're talking high school kids, it's really.
It is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're 100% right. But Ron has coached at a really, really high level before. He knows what goes into it. He knows the emotion. At the end of the day, do celebrate yourself. You don't need to knock anyone down, to sell. You don't have to dim anyone else's light to make yourself shine. You just want a state title.
You have to somebody like Allen Iverson or something, step over him and stuff like that.
I would have been doing the DX crotch chop.
You're going to get team points taken from you now just for talking about
You've already gotten them taken away.
Starting in the hole next week.
Oh, boy. Wouldn't be my first or last time. One time I was getting yelled at by a ref while I was coaching, and he said, "Coach, that's going to be a team point." I said, "We don't have any. Take another one if you want."
Yeah, put it on my tab.
Yeah, put it on my tab.
All right. Well, this again is now our annual visit with Nick Rubek, the one and only Nick Rubek.
Yeah. Next time we talk, the Raiders are going to have a new quarterback. So hopefully the Jets have our old quarterback.
Oh, next time you mean like live?
Yeah. Next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next week too.
Well, yeah.
they got to get rid of Carr by the 15th. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, you big Raiders fan guy over here.
Yeah.
It sounds like
he's
he's
going to have
going
my
north.
quarterback.
What?
I said the Raiders are going to have my quarterback.
Who's that?
Rodgers.
Nah, we're getting that dude.
Bring him.
You're not,
Jets.
no, he's
Let's
he's
go.
whatever.
Let's go.
I'll settle. I'll struggle through the Jordan Love era.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, you've had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for 3 decades.
Yeah,
I think you can deal for a couple years.
Little
I want to hear about it. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we're talking football, obviously, but if you're Rodgers, you probably do go to Vegas because of the weather and indoor playing and all that stuff. It's just
taxes, state taxes,
all that.
Got Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
he can go out in the desert and do all the hallucinogens he wants.
We'll have to settle for, as a Jets fan. We'll probably have to settle for like a Jimmy G or something dumb.
Mike White, that's your future, bro.
Let's talk about Miguel Blanco.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Go that far.
There's nothing wrong with Miguel Blanco.
All right, Rubek. We will see you next week.
Awesome.
Now, unless you want to join us Wednesday for this Mike Chuck Live. Yes, we're recording live our state preview show where we have special guest coaches. Let's just say that will be joining us that night. We're going to record live at Hill Varsity Club in La Vista, starting at 7:30 on Wednesday night. Any and everyone is welcome. Like anyone that wants to come and hang out and watch us make fun of ourselves or be funny, or
even if you don't know anything about wrestling, come out. Yeah. It's going to be a great time.
Come hang out. We're going to have a good time. If you're
going to wrestle people in the parking lot, right?
Over his head.
Yeah, we might have a wrestling like round 2 or something in the parking lot. Yeah, it just depends on adulting, because there'll be a little adult, it's a sports bar, so
a couple cocktails had
food and stuff like that. But Coach Jernigan from Westside is going to have it be our Class A guy. Coach Picorni from Bennington and is going to be our Class B person. And Tanner Thiem from David City is going to be our Class C person to break all that down. Class D to be determined. So working on that. But should be a good time. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll have a girls coach there too.
Yeah, unnamed. We don't need to name that guy.
Yeah, he's a mute.
A second mulligan.
We're good. 2 mulligans on the stage, and I'm trying to wrangle that in. Good luck.
Yeah.
God. All right, man. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, fellas.
Look forward to your shoe game next week. It better be good. Probably won't be as good as mine, but whatever.
Feet heat. Got that hashtag feet heat.
You do sometimes.
All right. We'll see you.
All right.
Later, boys.
Yeah. Okay, that was Nick Rubek. He's always fun, entertaining person. So he's going to be a busy guy in the next week.
Oh, man, he's got a schedule coming up, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I like Nick a lot. Him and I chat a lot. Good dude, really good dude. He's a banker in real life. So not just a wrestling reporter or soccer reporter. Not a lot of people know that, but he does that on the side.
He's had some really, really good articles over the years, like really good.
Oh, he's great. Nick's great. So really good dude and fun guy to be around and hang out with. I will tell you though, if he is like locked in to writing something, just leave him alone.
Yeah.
So, because I like to talk, obviously, and I've had like tried to have a conversation sitting next to him, and he's just typing away, and I'm trying to get like, talk about randomness, and he's like, huh, what? I'm like, oh, my bad.
Buzz off, Chrome Dome.
Basically, that's what he said without saying it. So
yeah.
All right, man. We will talk to you soon, and we'll see you next week. Next week, Hill Varsity Club in La Vista. Come join us. Hang out 7:30. The show's going to start at 7:30. We'll probably be there a little early. We're going to go to about 8:30-ish is the goal. Free to come and attend. No like attendance ticket, nothing like that. Come hang out, see the show live. Be like big lights and stuff and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be kind of fun.
Come talk some wrestling or just come to hang out. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, it'll be good. You could get Chuck's autograph if you want to, so he'll be there.
Yeah. Someone can sign my knee brace for me too.
That would actually be fun. I probably could find one of those silver. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
No one's signing my knee brace.
I will. I should. I'm the one that put it on you. All right, time to go. See you later. The champ is here. Not over there. Not that guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. Never forget.
I can't say anything.
All right, bye.
Later.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.